So let's talk fillers. Let's talk consistency, G prime, viscosity, the family of fillers, different brands, and fears. Um, I think most of people's number one fear surrounded by filler is that risk of looking overfilled or overdone, or that puffed out filler face. And trust me, I do not like that look either. My main goal is to provide you natural, beautiful, soft, beautiful results, youthful results. Something to where maybe you see a friend on the road, even a close friend, and they just look at you and they say, wow, you look really, really great. But they would never in a million years know that you had filler or notice that you've gotten something done. So that is my main goal in doing this. As you guys know, this is my passion. But it's really important to, choose an experienced injector that is very familiar with the different consistencies, G primes and viscosities of these fillers, because they go from really, really thin consistency to a very, very thick consistency. So as an injector, you need to know, how is that going to lay on periosteum or bone? How is that going to lift the muscle, the fat pads, the tissue? How is that going to work subdermally? How is it actually going to push out of the syringe? Is it going to push out really fast? Is it going to push out really slow? All of these things are mega important, not to mention, of course, the anatomy, the arteries, the veins, the vessels in the face, and you have to be aware of those. I think most of you that are already patients of mine, when I'm in more kind of risky areas for fillers, I do use ultrasound and I do some vascular mapping. So number one, I can try to avoid some bruising, and number two, I can just avoid any risks that may come up. Also, ultrasound is really important to be able to go in and, let's say, fillers in an area where I don't want it, I'll be able to easily find it and go put some dissolver in there. So super important as far as experience of the injector, but filler, if you squeeze a whole syringe of filler out into a tablespoon, it is a fifth of a tablespoon. So I think I've talked before, typically we lose about 1% of collagen each year. So usually by my age, mid-40s, early 50s, we've lost about a tablespoon of collagen by then. Therefore, just in order just to replace the collagen loss, that would just take 5 syringes in itself. Another way to kind of think about how much filler is a syringe is if you squeeze the whole entire syringe out into your hand, it's the size of a large blueberry. So sometimes, for cheeks, for instance, or jawline, we inject down on bone for those. And so it takes quite a bit of product on that periosteum to be able to lift up that tissue and create results. So sometimes, you can't do just one syringe to get a really nice, complete effect. Then sometimes it takes, multiple syringes. Then we're going to choose a thinner filler for the accordion lines and the perioral lines. That's sort of like a subdermal injection right between the epidermis and the dermis. Really beautiful for popping up those lines and not really creating volume, just making lines disappear. So it would take about 5 syringes to fill up a full tablespoon. So I just am kind of getting on here to just sort of calm your fears about if you hear that, it might take 3 syringes, don't get freaked out by that, because it's actually really not a ton of product. And the last thing also I want to do is, if let's say the budget's only there for 1 syringe, facial balancing, of course, is super important. So if I can't create a balanced, natural, soft look with just 1 syringe, then we'll have to wait until you can get 2 syringes, or maybe we just don't do it just yet. if it's, because, sometimes like a half syringe, like per side to be able to balance, might not hardly produce any results at all. So, but did want to talk about Volux, because Volux is the newest filler to the Juvederm family. So this was recently FDA approved for the jawline, and it's really, really beautiful in the jawline. Not only do we lose collagen as we age, but we also lose bone, and sometimes our bone also recedes. So over time, we can lose our like nice sharp profile. This is a beautiful filler for the jawline, especially here at that like gonial angle, right in front of this gonial notch, and then you've got your jowling right here. So when you inject the gonial angle, it right in front of that prejowl sulcus area, it helps to kind of stretch out that jowling and give you a nice tighter appearance, a nice side profile. And often I like to do just a little bit in the chin to kind of project the chin forward, so you just have a nice, real sharp, snatched jawline. So don't forget, I'm running my promo, a Juvederm promo, any Juvederm from the whole family, the collection, and Volux is one of them. And it's buy one, get the second half off, or buy two, get the third free. So it could be anywhere from $450 to $800 savings. So now's the time to jump on in if you've been considering filler. Make sure you go ahead and get on the books. June is getting pretty full. I think there's like a handful of appointments left for June, and July is still pretty open. So if you want to take advantage of the cash savings, then go ahead and hop on, and I look forward to seeing you guys